How's everybody doing this afternoon? So, being as though it's Black History Month, I figure we have a little Black history. So, we're gonna have a little serious class in session moment today, and hopefully I can open some people's eyes and open their minds up to some things that they may not have known, and to the ones that already know, then that's what's up. That's what's popping. You already know your history, but it's a lot of people that don't. So for those that don't, today's session is for you. Now I got my little notes right here, composition notebook, because as a teacher you have to have proof and be able to give references and shit, so I got my stuff right. I got my stuff ready, because I said in my last video that I was going to prove to people that slavery was indeed a choice. And by the end of this video, it's a few people that's going to owe Mr. Kanye West some sincere apologies, because I don't think people have been doing their just research. And so yeah, like I say, as a teacher, that's what teachers normally do. I think I could be a teacher. I think I look like a teacher. Do I look like a teacher? I think I kind of look like a teacher. Get in the comment section, tell me if I look like I could be a teacher. Yeah, I think I could be a teacher. I'd rather be a teacher than a preacher. I'll tell you that. I'd rather be a teacher than a preacher. Huh, man? All right, so today's history lesson, we're going to find out who the Seminole Indians were and how they got the term Seminole Indian. Okay, so from research, which I've already done in the past when I was in prison, I lost notes, so I had to get those notes back and, go back in and do some more research and make sure that everything was up to par. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about who the Seminole Indians were. Now, the Seminole Indians were largely of Creek origin. I'm assuming that meaning Creek origin means that they lived near creeks or some source, so they had some source of water that was nearby, common sense, and lived in villages in North Florida. The area was also home to a number of Africans. I want y'all to hear this. Free African Americans and runaway African American slaves, all of whom were known as Black Seminoles. Let's go back. The Seminoles were largely of Creek origin and lived in villages in North Florida. The area was also home to a number of Africans, free African Americans, and runaway African American slaves, all to whom were known as Black Seminoles. Now, it clearly says, and you can research this for yourself, Google has it, this stuff that Google will allow you to see, free Americans and runaway African Americans. Now, my whole question is this. If the Emancipation Proclamation, which was signed by Abraham Lincoln, wasn't issued until 1863, how is it that in 1812 to 1816, you got free slaves in Florida? You got people that was already free. It clearly says it. African Americans, free African Americans. So that means the only way that they could have already been free outside of what the government says is if they were already here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get in the comment section or something, man. They had to be already here in order to be considered free. right? They had to know what was going on with the terrain of the land and all of that for the runaway slaves to want to link up with them. So if they knew all that stuff and they knew all about the terrain and stuff, it take years to learn that. It take time to learn that. You got to be free in order to learn that. And how are you free if America was bringing slaves over from Africa and making them slaves here in what is commonly referenced to as North America, right? Like, it don't, you got to think, man. So my whole thing is this. It's proof that the native people of the original native people of this land were considered African Americans by the white man. They were called African Americans. If they wasn't, that's what they was called, and it's documented. So when people claim Africa, I tell people, you don't know whether you're from Africa or if you're from the original descendants of this land, which is referenced to as North America. Because clearly it says African Americans were already here. You never seen Africa. So if you ain't never seen Africa, you ain't never been to Africa, why are you claiming it so much? I'm not really understanding it. Whatever this land is considered, what this land is called, 9 times out of 10 is where most people, or the people that they're from, you're descendants of the people who are already here. Everybody isn't a descendant of someone that was brought over on a slave ship from Africa. Stop telling yourself that. That's bullshit. That's not true. It's just like when I look up old pictures of the original Native Americans of this land, they have shiny black hair, straight, shiny black hair, dark, smooth complexion, dark skin, smooth, right? Dark complected. Well, I've been told all my life that I'm half Native American. Look at my damn complexion. My complexion doesn't look like those original native people, not the original ones. So somebody been lying to me and been lying to people who think that they're 100%. If you're light skinned, I don't understand how you can be 100% Indian if you're light skinned. Excuse me, Native American if you're light skinned. And there are different tribes. You know, you got different names, Blackfoot, Cherokee, you know what I'm saying? Different Seminoles. It's just different types, Chippewa, all different types of, you know what I mean, of natives. So I don't understand how, if the original natives were dark complected, how is it that these newer so-called Indians, or who call themselves Indians, which isn't even the correct term, how are they claiming to be 100% Native American? I don't understand it. And so it's leading me to believe that obviously somewhere along the line, we the watered down natives. We gotta be the watered down. And this is coming from somebody who was told was half native. I gotta be watered down. It's obviously some white somewhere in my blood. It's obviously some white somewhere in my blood. And see, this is what I have to do in order to educate myself. Because if I don't look this stuff up, I'll just go through life going by whatever the fuck I was told. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is the truth. Whether you want to believe it, whether you want to accept it or not, the truth is the truth. You can't get mad. I mean, don't shoot the messenger, man. God damn. You know? So, I'm not understanding that, you know, for one. And then, let's get to the point of, being that we've covered who the Seminole Indians were, let's get to the point of slavery being a choice. Okay. So there were skirmishes of the Gullah War when they first started in the year of 1812 and 1816. And if I'm not mistaken, at this time, Andrew Jackson, who wasn't president yet, was general of the American Army. So, okay, let me get back on track. So, the Gullah Wars, it was skirmishes of that from 1812 to 1816. This is well before slavery was abolished. Slavery wasn't abolished till 1863. Let's not forget, we got to keep these dates right. Look, January 1st, 1863 is when slavery, the third year of the Civil War, was when slavery was abolished. January 1st, 1863. Well, black people had been bucking up against the government it's recorded since 1812, right? So my whole thing is this: if people have been going up against the U.S. government, slaves have been running away, choosing to run away, choosing freedom over being a slave, over being controlled, over being whipped. These people made these decisions to go at arguably, knowing that they're probably outnumbered, go at arguably for sure defeat is what you would think, right? But they made the choice to either live as a slave, right? Or die with your integrity. And that's the goddamn choice. And the reason why y'all don't understand that is because we've been dumbed down. You don't got that warrior shit in you. You don't got it. It's not in you. You think it's no choice because I'm gonna die. They're gonna. Why do you think you have the rights you have right now? Because people died for your black ass. Because civil rights leaders died for your black ass. You see what I'm saying? They weren't cowards. They had to get out there on the front line so you can have the rights you have today, so you can sit your ass up here and twerk on fucking video and show your naked ass to the whole fucking world. So you niggas can get up here and rap about killing another nigga for next to nothing. Huh? So you can have freedom of speech. So I can have freedom of speech to talk right now. You know what I'm saying? On mainstream media. People put their life on the line and fucking died for us to be able to do that. But it wasn't no choice. No, you was just fucking scared. You was scary. That's all. You was afraid to die. Huh? Afraid to die. The ones that didn't run was afraid to die. Period. You make the choice to fight, or you make the choice to sit there and be a fucking slave. You don't got a choice? That's a choice. How is it not a choice? Look up the definition of choice if it's not a choice. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all just scary. People just scary. They can't fathom the fact of choosing death over a miserable situation. They can't fathom. Hey, there's no choice. Kanye's crazy. He may be a little bit, but what he said was true. What he said was a valid statement. Now, what he does, as far as this controversial shit he does, you know what I'm saying, in public or whatever it is that's going on with him, I ain't got nothing to do with that. As far as that statement that he made, though, I'm with him on that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta side with Kanye through facts. You know? So let me ask y'all this. Do you know what August 23rd, 1831, do you know what happened that year? August 23rd, 1831. That was the year that Nat Turner and his slave rebellion, they killed over 60 white people and slave owners. August 23rd, 1831. Him and his rebellion of slaves chose to rebel and kill as many as they could kill till they couldn't kill no more, to get whatever point across that they could. They made that choice. They chose death. And they took as many with them as they could. It's called a choice. Coward. It's called a choice. Coward. When you say it ain't no choice, that's coward shit. That's coward shit. You're afraid. There's nothing wrong with being afraid, though. Afraid can be good sometimes. Being afraid or having a certain sense of fear about certain things can save your life at times, get you out of certain situations. Can't be too tough all the time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fuck that shit. And they're gonna have to do whatever. It's whatever. And you dead ass nigga. And it's whatever. Now you on a t-shirt and, you know, the preacher standing over you reading the goddamn eulogy, lying, talking about how good of a kid you was and all that shit. All right, back on topic. So Nat Turner and his rebellion of slaves made a choice, and they chose death. They chose death over humility. They chose death. So I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to hear no more about slavery wasn't a choice, because I just proved to you that you had a choice. Excuse me, that our ancestors had a choice, and these people proved it to you as well by their actions of what they did, by this documentation. So don't pick and choose what you want to believe. You believe that rotten ass Bible, and that's documented stuff from way back further than this was. And you believe that, then you can believe these documents too. Don't do it. Don't even try it. You can't believe everything. Well, you can't believe everything in the fucking Bible then too. How about that? What? Huh? Come on, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, yo. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Knowledge is key. You know what I'm saying? So, they also don't teach you in school that the Emancipation Proclamation, right, was only issued because of how slaves was kicking ass. Them down south slaves was kicking the ass. They were tired of being slaves. They was whipping ass. They had the opportunity to fight white people and get out there on the line. What? Man, it was going in. They don't tell you that, though. They try to make it seem like Abraham Lincoln was he had so much sympathy, and he was, such a devout man. He freed the slave. No, he really ain't had too much of a choice. I mean, he might have been next. You never know, because it seems to me that they couldn't, the U.S. military couldn't control these slaves. Watch this. Okay. All right. Now I'm explaining to you what the Gullah Wars were before I go here. The Gullah Geechee Wars, which anybody who watches Kwame Brown, you'll hear him call himself a Geechee. A Geechee is a runaway slave. Were the longest lasting and most costly wars fought in terms of the loss of military personnel and the money spent on any war the U.S. engaged in up until the Vietnam War. So they were getting their asses kicked way back in 1812. To hell with 1831, when Nat Turner was kicking their ass. They was getting their asses kicked in 1812, 1816, 1818. Look, I'm gonna prove it. Watch this. In 1818, President Andrew Jackson, who was then an Army general, led the U.S. Army to claim and colonize Florida. You know what colonize means, don't you? All right. Colonize Florida. The Gullah, Geechee, the Gullah and Native Americans, a.k.a. the Seminoles, fought them and won. Look it up. 1818. Native Americans and Africans beat the shit out the U.S. military. Documented. 1818. Slavery wasn't abolished till 1863. Kicking ass. Huh? Nat Turner did what he did in 1831. That was almost 30 years before slavery was even abolished. There were other slave revolts. They're not documented though. These are just the ones that they chose to document. So you got people that actually fought the U.S. military with what, bow and arrows, man? Because they couldn't have had the type of firepower that the U.S. military had, but they still beat their ass. So now every time you look at the $20 bill and you see Andrew Jackson's funny looking ass, you can think about how them natives was down there beating their ass. You know what I'm saying? Running their ass off the field. You feel me? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, African Americans and Native Americans and, the original native people of this land fought the U.S. military, made a choice, and beat their ass. And it's documented, and you can look it up. You can look it up. So, stop with the coward shit, man. If you uncomfortable with something, you just uncomfortable with it. If you scared, say you scared. Or get a dog or some shit. If you scared, you know, y'all already got guns and you're still fucking scared. Even with a gun, you're still scared. Man, you crazy. Slavery wasn't no choice. We ain't have no choice. Do you think before you even... I don't even think people think. Straight off emotion. That, once again, if you thought about it, if people thought about that shit before they said it, they wouldn't even have said it. Straight off emotion. Oh, it's great. Oh, no. Think first. Come on, man. Come on, don't do it to yourself. Ain't nothing worse than thinking you know something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing worse than a smart, stupid motherfucker. That's what I want to say. Ain't nothing worse to me than a smart, dumb motherfucker. Person think they know something. You give out false information. You tell people this. You believe whatever it is that someone tells you instead of researching it for yourself. Then when someone else comes along and give you this information, now you're upset with the person that's giving you the information. The fuck you mad at them for? They only trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? You looking at them in a negative light. Oh, you think he know everything. Black people hate intelligent black people. I don't know what it is. Black people have some, not all, majority of black people that you run across, I'm gonna say 80%. Yeah, he talk like he white. What do you think, he white or something? What do you hang around? Why motherfucker? Because I came from the fucking projects. My peoples came from nothing, nigga. What are you talking about? Because I want to educate myself and learn how to speak properly around them people. It's a time where you gotta cut certain shit off. It don't make you being a coon. You think you gonna get a job? What type of job you think you gonna get in there? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying, I'm trying to work full time, but I ain't had a job in such and such, you all slumped down in the seat and shit like that. What, cause you trying to keep it real, nigga? The fuck is y'all talking about? That's why motherfuckers is stuck to one way of life. You can't do nothing else outside of that one little hustle. After that, you're doing what everybody else does. If you can't get your pack, you robbing and stealing just like everybody else. Stop it. No talent whatsoever. And it seemed to me like most of these women I'm coming across, they don't even give a fuck about it. They don't even care about talent or intelligence. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. How big's your dick? How much money you got? How big's your dick? How much money you got? They don't all come out and straight say it, of course, but that's what it's about. How big is your dick? How much money you got? How popular are you? How big is your dick? How much money you got? How popular are you? If I left something out, get in the comment section. Let me know, cause what you willing to put up with? You willing to put up with my shit? You like me? Mm-hmm. He said he liked me. I was minding my own business. On IG and social media, half naked and shit, twerking and shit, enticing motherfuckers. But you minding your own business. I'm minding my own business. Yeah, you minding your own business. Y'all something else, man. Y'all something else. Niggas and females. I don't know cut cards. Shoot. I talk about niggas the same way I do. I talk about these stupid ass niggas the same way I do these rotten ass women. So I ain't no cut cards with me. If you an asshole, you an asshole. If you good peoples, you good peoples. If you're not, you're not. You know what I'm saying? People call me an asshole. That's fine. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So what the fuck is that supposed to mean? They didn't even y'all believe in Jesus and keep forgetting the fact that Jesus was trying to help everybody and people didn't even like him. This motherfucker was according to the Bible, was making people see and walk that couldn't walk, that never walked before. Healing the lay, making people with leprosy, making they skin back clear and all that shit. They said he was a sorcerer, what they say, a witch. Burn him at the stake. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do everybody like that. Anybody that's got any type of goodness with them, or any that stands out, or is different than what your ignorant asses are used to, you demonize it. You find a way to fucking demonize it. Been doing it since the beginning of time. You find a way to demonize. I don't like him. Have you ever thought about being a dying Jesus? Have you ever thought about the fact that maybe I don't like your ass either? Right? And that maybe sometimes, even though I be talking, I be saying, sometimes I be thinking to myself, you know what, you can talk that shit. Keep that shit away from me. As long as you keep that jealous, envious, ignorant shit the fuck away from me, hey, we good. I can't tell a motherfucker what to say out their mouth. We got freedom of speech out here. Long as you ain't coming approaching me in my space like you gonna try to cause some type of harm to me, we good. We good, man. We good. So think what you want to think, and continue to believe whatever it is you want to believe. If need be, you're grown. At least I think we all grown here, so it is what it is. Ain't no hard feelings. But I promote people, especially black people, to broaden their horizons. Go behind people. If you go to church, go behind the pastor. If you go to the mosque, read your Quran. Whatever it is that you do, if somebody is teaching it to you, don't always go off of what's being taught, because all of this, I didn't learn in school. I didn't learn this. They taught me about the war in Hiroshima, Japan. They taught me about that. I aced that. You know what I'm saying? Taught me about some damn bombs. Robert L. Oppenheimer making these bombs called Little Boy and Fat Man and shit. Yeah, that shit like that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't live in fucking Japan. The fuck are you teaching me that for? This is the shit I needed to know. They didn't want me to know this. They didn't want you to know it either. For various reasons. Oh man, yo. Class is over, man. Y'all can leave now. Black Dr. Phil, I'm out.